Hey everybody, Flip and Danny here, founders of the Freedom Real Estate Group family of companies, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, which is called
Freedom Through Passive Income.
That's right, and welcome to another live. Only get a few of those left.
That's right.
Week 48. Woo! Week 48, live progress update. And this was a big week. The last week
was
Thanksgiving, yes. Which is followed immediately by Black Friday, which is then followed a couple days later by Cyber Monday, which is then followed by Taco Tuesday, and then
the amount of emails in our
Whataburger
inbox.
Wednesday, and oh my goodness, it was just crazy.
Yes.
But anyway, so and we went into the weekend, like we were just gonna be pretty chilled out and not do anything and nice and relaxing, and Thanksgiving came and well, you got a call.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got a call from my family back in Arizona that my mom had a seizure and she ended up in the hospital. So they actually called me while they were still at home and saying, hey, we're getting an ambulance, taking mom to the hospital. So we could see, what's going on, and she was in really, really horrible pain, and so she's been there since Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And ultimately, she's going to have surgery. I won't even go into all of it, but I decided that she's turning 80 January 2nd is her 80th birthday, and so I decided, hey, with this going on right now, she's getting up in age, and you just never know how long you have somebody with us. So I don't feel like I'm going to make this trip. So I'm flying today to go to Arizona, and I'm going to spend a month there. I'm going to stay through her 80th birthday and come back on January 5th. And I'm not saying I'm going there because she's dying, because I don't think she is.
Right, no.
But when things like this happen, it gives you a jolt of, hey, life is short. And we aren't promised tomorrow. So this is just an opportunity for me to go ahead and go home. I can still work. I'm renting a condo. You got me a condo. Thank you, Flippy.
You're welcome.
And I still get to work, wherever I want. So it brings this freedom through passive income journey to reality when you get to jump anywhere you want, because it was literally, I think, the next day that we decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and fly home and just spend a month with her. And so
it was that night we talked about it, and Friday, Black Friday. I did not get any Black Friday specials on the
on
flights. Or rental cars or
or the Airbnb or the condo, whatever. I'm renting for a month. So anyways, it's just, this is an important journey, right? Because I get to go do this and go be with my mom. Even if she lives to 100, I hope she lives to 100, assuming she wants to live to 100. Right. But, I still have, the ability to go home for a month and, spend time with her during this and help her through recovery and things like that. So, that's the big thing that really happened. That kind of threw our Thanksgiving into now we're going to, we had a lot to do, to get ready for this trip.
I think the coolest thing though is the silver lining, because through all of this happening, they found a break in her bone and in her leg, and that break was the cause of all of this pain. She says trouble walking, she can't drive. And so now actually she's going into surgery to repair that break, and they're saying that she's going to be able to walk again, she's going to be able to drive a car again, and so she's ecstatic. So that's the silver lining.
Yes.
So that wasn't enough fun. I decided that on Black Friday, after I booked all of Danny's events, I wasn't doing anything else, and so I decided to pick up a virus.
Yes.
At first, I thought that I had food poisoning, and in fact, when I looked up what these symptoms, it's actually called a stomach virus, but it's also known as the food poisoning virus, because everyone thinks they have food poisoning, but no, it's just a form of the flu, but it's not called the flu. It's like, oh my gosh, whatever. What do I do to get rid of it? That's all I want to know. So I've had that since Friday. And that's been a lot of fun. But silver linings, since I'm talking about silver linings, we went to Mexico, Cancun, which is an all-inclusive resort, and I may or may not have had a lot of food and drink while we were there. So I may have gained a lot of weight while we were in Mexico.
Right.
And so, solution, stomach virus. I got rid of it all.
He's not kidding.
I weighed myself. I weighed myself yesterday. Like, I was like, well, there's a weight loss program.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then a couple days ago, we dropped off Rosie with the trainer.
Yeah. We found a trainer, so we dropped off Rosie. She's gonna be there for 2 weeks.
Yep.
And it's so funny because Rosie, she's an English bulldog, and she's got 2 sides to her. She's got the what the heck, Jekyll and Hyde, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she's one second she's all sweet and she's cuddling with you, and then you go to touch her and she's like, she growls at you and she just snaps at you. And so we dropped her off with the trainer, and the trainer's like, "This is the best dog ever. She's what?" And then 3 hours later, okay, she's opened up. Yeah.
So funny. Yeah. And it's interesting. I was just thinking about this while you were telling that story. At the very beginning of the year, our progress updates, they used to be all business. Mm-hmm. And then at the very end, if we had anything personal to talk about, we'd throw it in, but not always would we have something personal to talk about. By the end of 2022, the last probably month of progress updates has started with personal stuff and ended with the business stuff. So it's been a very interesting shift from business first to learning how to prioritize and do personal stuff and spending more time on it. Plus, the holiday season always kind of forces you into doing more personal things. So it's time of the year, I think, as well.
Yeah, and plus a lot of times business overtakes all of our personal. And so I couldn't even tell you what I did, in 1 week because it was just all work.
Yeah, exactly right.
This one was a little personal heavy.
So on that note, we're going to end with the business stuff. We did have a few things happen this last week. Super excited about. Number one, our partner on our North Carolina deal that we're working on is called us yesterday, and the bank has finished all of their transactions that they've done, inspections that they need to in order to finish underwriting on the deal and then move forward so that we can close. So super excited about that. Can't give any more details than I've just shared. In fact, I think that's the first time I actually said North Carolina. That's where this deal is. But anyways, again, it's a 506B, so we can't talk about it until it's closed. But we've we've oversubscribed. That happened very, very quick. I think within a week we had more than we needed for this deal. It was really fantastic. We have a great investor base, and they love the deals that we come up with because we do take a lot of time and care in underwriting these and in vetting the partners that we work with. It's truly one of the most important things to us. And because of that, when we do a raise, usually the money comes in fast and more than we need, which has happened in this case. So super excited about that. So got that update. The potential deals, I just got a Voxer 2 days ago that there's 2 other people that are interested in us being a part of their deals as well. So we're underwriting / just kind of looking into them preliminarily to see if it's something we want to move forward on. I think one of them we're going to press the pause button on because it's just closing too soon and close to the one that we're closing on right now. But the other one is going to be a beginning of January close. So I think we're going to be able to do that one. So this is an important note. If you're listening to this progress update, again, we can't talk to you about it unless you're in our investor club prior to the legal docs being done. Once the legal docs are done and we announce it, if you come and you're new, we still can't tell you about that deal because you weren't in our club prior to the legal docs being finalized for that deal. So if you're interested in seeing our deals, please talk to Ben and CJ and join our investor club. And then I have Ben and CJ and Joe actually working on a fund desires list because we're coming to the end of 2022. I'm trying to finalize these new funds that we're going to roll into 2023 with. And I said, hey, you guys are the ones out there talking to the investors. Tell me what they want. What are they looking for? What type of returns? What type of, all of these features that we've talked about that we can add? What are the ones that are meaningful to them and they find value in? Because we're going to take that information and I'm going to really start digging in and talking to our network so that we can finalize what that looks like and then be able to launch them in 2023.
Awesome. I love that. That's all new for me too. So that's cool. Very cool. I was trying to think if there was one thing in there. Nope. But you did touch on it. Make sure you're going over to our website, freedomcapitalinvestments.com, to join the investor club. Because like she said, once it gets announced,
Yep.
doors closed.
That's right.
So make sure you're reaching out to Ben and or CJ to get all that information. Make sure you're checking us out on all the social medias. Or it's the end of the year. We got a lot of stuff going on, and already stuff going on in 2023. Shocker.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we hope you enjoyed this episode. We act in all of our episodes with
Invest smart.
Live happy. Bye,
Bye everybody.
Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on the show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit and loss.